If your kitchen organization system looks completely chaotic, sis, you're not alone. Just trust me, you're not alone. That's why I consulted a professional organizer to see how I can create systems, because we don't want a system or organization systems that look Pinterest worthy but don't function for the family. We want a combination of beauty and function, and something that serves every single member of your family well. If that's what you're looking for, then you've clicked on the right video. Hi, my name is Torira, and I am obsessed with hacks and tips that make your house feel like a home. My cabinets were a major source of embarrassment to me for a long time. Even when guests would arrive at the house, I would be so shy to open my cabinets because they were a disaster. The house would look clean and immaculate, but the cabinets, nothing to write home about. And you know as well as I do that when your kitchen is not organized, things go bad. You forget that you had stuff, things expire. I've made a curry that with expired coconut milk. You don't want that. We don't want that. So if you stay till the end of the video, I'm going to show you a step-by-step system for how you can tackle it in yours. So I consulted a professional organizer, Nikki Boyd, at Home with Nikki. I've been obsessed with her for about 10 years because she understands organization. And here are some of the tips that she gave me. First is your undersink. Your undersink is like the master center of the kitchen. That is where everything kind of flows from. So you want it to be immaculate, you want it to function for the entire family, but it's also the place that gets the most cluttered. Like some people will have really organized kitchen cabinets, but under the sink is always a disaster. So here are a couple of things you want to consider. You want to make sure that there's certain key items that are under there. So refills, things like your dishwashing solutions, your dishwashing tablets, your rinse aid, things like that should be there. Your gloves, extra sponges, your washing up liquid, and these things can be organized easily. I mean, there's different organizing solutions, but the best organizing solution for under the sink, I would say, in my opinion, are the canisters, the ones that you use to organize like food supplies and stuff. Another solution that works are the tiered organizers or the pull-out drawers. Those organizing solutions work because what you want to do and create under your sink is a system where it hides some of the pipe work and all the other stuff that you typically have under your sink, but still looks beautiful and cohesive. So what I have is a tiered organizer, a tiered pull-out drawer. I also have a stackable one organizer, and then I also have my food containers. So in the food containers, I have things like my extra sponges, I have gloves, I have things for my dishwasher, things I know that I use often and I also run out of very easily. And then in the pull-out drawers, that's where I have my back stock, my extra cleaners, floor cleaners, all-purpose cleaners, those types of things that can stack up nicely. And then in the stackable organizer, that's where I put like my microfiber cloths and the things that are grab and go, things that I need to reach for very easily. But don't forget the doors. You can also put different things depending on what works for your family, put different things on the doors. So my challenge to you is to design something that works. Think of all the supplies that you use daily in your kitchen. They might not make sense for my kitchen, but they might make sense for yours. And those are the things that you should consider putting under your sink. As promised, I'm going to give you a week-by-week strategy to tackle all of these things. The next thing you want to consider are your plates. First of all, if you have any chipped plates, please throw them away. That's what I did. Throw them away. They are not a vibe in any way, shape, or form. Just toss them. And you also don't have to get a set of matching plates. Just make sure that wherever you keep your plates, you can keep your plates stacked on top of each other, and every single plate has its own position. I totally understand that not everybody has the space, but if you can, don't stack plates that are not similar together. So here's what I mean. If you have large plates, dinner plates, put the dinner plates stacked together. If you have the bowls, put the bowls together, but try as much as possible not to put the bowls on top of the plates, because what you want is to be able to grab what you need, grab and go. You want a grab and go system. The mindset you want to have is, can a stranger come into my home or come into my cabinet and find what they're looking for? And that's something that me and Nikki discussed. You want everything to be in such a way that you can pick what you need without something toppling over. So think about that when you organize your plates. And the same thing for your cups. I tossed so many old mugs. You know, all these mugs that you're gifted from a party or from a brand, or I tossed everything. Keep only the mugs that you use. And also, I need you to consider that not everything needs to be on display. If you're maybe just 4 in your family, keep just 8 sets at a time in the display and keep your other sets in storage, like in maybe a cabinet for extra stuff. In that extra storage, you can keep your things stacked. But in the cabinet where you display, where you use as a family, please just keep the things that you need. 8 plates for a family of 4. 8 bowls for a family of 4. That's more than enough. And when you have guests, you can go into your storage cabinet and pick out the things you need. Moving on quickly to pots. Pots were my biggest challenge in this world. I had no clue how to organize it. I will keep it stacked. Someone else will come and do the dishes and everything is a disaster again. Like, it was a thorn in my flesh until I spoke to Nikki. And one thing Nikki said was,
I want to put my pots with the lids. I'm going to take everything out. I'm going to match up all my pots, stack them beautifully on my counter. And then I'm going to start putting them back in the drawer and setting that.
Similar to your plates, similar plates stacked on top of each other, you want to have your pots with the lid. Now, the drawer that is dedicated to your pots, you want to put just the pots and the pans that you use. Like I said before, I acknowledge that not everybody has the space. I totally understand. But if you do have the space, have just the pots that you use most frequently in your drawer, but have the lid on top. You want to have just the pots that you need out in your drawer so that when you go to cook, you're just lifting out the pot and using, instead of stacking them on top of each other and then you're trying to figure out where's the lid, where's the pot, we don't want none of that. You want to be able to pick out your pot with the lid on top, your pan with the lid on top. Like I said, I know that not everybody has the space, but when you do that, when I tell you the amount of peace that this has given me, oh my goodness. So much peace in my kitchen. Now you ask, what do you do with the extra pots? Keep them in another dedicated cabinet stacked on top of each other. The ones you don't use often, like my really big pots and my really, the ones that I pull out when I want to make a big batch of jollof rice, I keep those separate. But the regular pots that I use when I want to boil an egg or I want to make a little bit of rice or I just want to make a quick dinner, those are the pots that I put in my drawer. And this has freed me so much, and I really hope it does the same for you. Now, one thing I struggled with was finding space for the pots, the extra pots that I wasn't using as often. I had my Tupperware in this drawer and it was another disaster because I had so much Tupperware and it was so disorganized and I just couldn't keep it organized. I took out all the Tupperware, I kept my extra pots, the big pots in there, and then I found another space in my kitchen dedicated to my Tupperware. For the Tupperware, this might be controversial for some people. Some people might not agree with this, but you see any Tupperware that is yellowed, plastic, just toss it. I put them outside and someone was able to grab them in about 5 minutes. Sis, if you can, just get glass Tupperware. Glass Tupperware is a lifesaver. And better yet, if the glass Tupperware that you get is stackable. One thing that Nikki told me to do was to have all my Tupperware with the lid on, but I didn't have the space. And let's be honest, not many people have the space. So if you don't have the space like I do, get dedicated glass Tupperware that are stackable, that can stack into each other. I got mine from IKEA. They are so good. They are so durable. So I got them in different sizes that I know I need, especially when I do my meal prep. And I arrange them. And honestly, it looks so good, if I do say so myself. And I'm so happy with this system. It works for the family. It looks Pinterest worthy. It looks organized. When I open it, I'm not embarrassed when my guests come or when I'm looking for something, I'm able to find my Tupperware easily. Being organized just makes your life so much easier. Moving on quickly to the pantry, the part that some of you have been waiting for. The pantry. Oh, first of all, let me talk about our pantry. Our pantry is made out of IKEA. So I'm looking in that direction because that's where it is. It's made out of IKEA wardrobes. And it's like the biggest hack on the face of the earth, like using IKEA wardrobes for your pantry. Oh my goodness. Because the wardrobes are deep and there's so much you can store in there. So let me run you quickly through how I organize this chaos of a pantry. So the top section I use for backstock. You want to have your backstock, like you want to have different, what do they call those things? Words fail me. Oh dear. What am I talking about? Baskets. You want to have different baskets for the top part so that you can use that for your backstock. Extra supplies, things that you want to buy excess of so that you don't have to have everything displayed. I hope you can see a pattern emerging, a pattern of not always having everything displayed. For my next section, I did cans, just cans, because I have lots of canned goods and sometimes things expire. And with this can organizer, when I pick one out, the next one drops forward. So it's just perfect for me. I think at this point it's important to mention that the space you have for your pantry determines what your storage solutions will look like. So I'm sharing all of this not because I'm saying, oh, it has to be exactly like that, but you could draw inspiration for how you want to organize your own pantry. But before you even organize your pantry, I want you to think about how you use it. One of the things I do a lot, I bake a lot. Like I bake so much. So I knew that one of the things I wanted to be accessible was my baking supplies. And that's why I chose that portion for my baking supplies. So I wanted to have all my staples like vanilla extract, all of those things in a basket. So the way I live my life dictated how I organized my pantry. So I want you to think about it in terms of your own life. What do you reach for? What does your family reach for? Start from the middle and then work upwards. And then for the bottom, I have a drawer. The longest time I couldn't figure out what to do with these drawers. I would put things in there, they would roll around. I was like, what do I do? Until I spoke to Nikki. And one thing Nikki advised was to have containers in there that would fit the size of that drawer. When I tell you that this tip was the most freeing thing for me, oh my goodness, I love that tip so much because what you do is just label. I haven't gotten to labeling yet, but you label the top of the containers and you can see everything. And what I'm planning to put there are things like brown sugar, nuts, seeds, maca powder, things that I would, need for either my baking or cooking. And it's all there laid out. And then once I do the labeling, I can see what I have. And I'm going to put the expiry date at the bottom as well. But if you happen to have drawers in your pantry or in your kitchen, one of the ways that you can really organize that is by having these containers labeled, something that is at the right height that you can kind of see everything that's going on in these containers. Genius tip. Now, here's another tip that blew my mind. The appliances. My appliances were also a mess. I don't have a lot of appliances, but I wanted to be able to keep them in the pantry at the bottom. And I had this pull-out drawer for the appliances, but I couldn't figure out how do I make it visually clean and not have any visual clutter. Nikki, in her genius, told me, Tara, I want you to organize by color. How many types of, what color of appliances do you have? I was like, okay, I have just black, because she looked at everything via video. I was like, I have just black and silver. She said, good. Make sure that all your black appliances are together and your silver appliances are together. See, I know it sounds like such a small tip, but it was everything because it reduced so much visual clutter. She was like, arrange it in such a way that all your cords are hidden. Get a cord organizer and stick it to the back, or just roll it up and put it at the back. Stack some that are stackable and put them off to the side and arrange them in a way where the black appliances together, cords hidden, the silver appliances on the same side, cords hidden, and then have a basket there for things like blender parts, all the little parts, instruction manuals, things like that you need for your appliances. I don't even know how to describe how freeing this is, because We have tried so many different methods. I would arrange it, my husband will scatter it. I'll arrange it, somebody else will come and scatter it. But now everybody's on board. We know exactly where each appliance should go. And it's been such a game changer. I still have loads of organization to do, and I'm gonna come back for a full kitchen organization tour. But before that, as promised, let me give you a breakdown of a step-by-step plan that you can follow to make your organization dreams a success and practical, and something that you can get on with right after this video. So here's how you're going to tackle your own kitchen. If you're feeling ambitious, you can do this in 4 days. If you're not feeling very ambitious and you have so much going on in your life, you can tackle this in 4 weeks. Here's your 4-week plan to make your organization dreams a success. The first week, I want you to go around your kitchen. Think of how you use the space and think of other ways that you could use the space. You want to make sure that things like your first aid medication, things like that are on the top drawer so that nobody poisons themselves, just in case you have kids, pets, things like that. So walk around your kitchen and think of ways that you could reuse the space. For me, that was my Tupperware drawer. I turned my Tupperware drawer into the extra storage for my pots, and I converted another drawer which was dedicated to my son's food and stuff. I converted that to my Tupperware cabinet. And as ideas start coming to your mind, I want you to use your sticky notes. You and your sticky notes are going to be best friends. Sticky note, stick, think about it, come back the next day, stick, write down your plan. That's what I did for my entire kitchen. I wrote down what my plan was on sticky notes and I put it everywhere. I was like, okay, does this work? Does this realistically work? Put the sticky note and use your space again, rethinking how you would use your space. And ideas will start coming to you for how you can reuse certain corners of your cabinet or your kitchen. Once you have a proper plan, week 2, I want you to start measuring. When you've decided, okay, I'm going to use this place for cans, what types of organizers are available? What types of, organizing solutions do I have on the market? You want to start measuring. If you find something on Amazon, look at the measurements, check and recheck, and make sure that there's enough space for those organizers that you want to use. Your task in week 2 is simple, but it can be hard doing the research. You have to do the research, go on Pinterest, go on YouTube, just go anywhere that you can find solutions. Amazon, Temu, find solutions that work and also check that they fit into the space that you want to work with. That's your task for week 2. Now we're on to week 3. Organizing. This is the exciting part, but I don't want you to overwhelm yourself because this is the hardest part. You want to focus on the areas that give you quick wins. Do the things that give you the most gratification in the moment. Something you can tackle in 30 minutes or less. Don't pick the big project. Yes, you have your plan in place, but you want something that gives you the motivation to do more. And that's what I did. I started with my napkin drawer. My napkin drawer was a mess, but once I tackled that, I was like, okay, it's easy for me to tackle the rest of my kitchen. So give yourself quick wins. It will propel you to do more over the course of the week or month. And once you're done organizing, in week 5, you can focus on labeling. I haven't done that part yet myself, but you can do any kind of labels you want. I have a Cricut, so I'm able to, do some of my organization. And yeah, this is the fun part because all you have to do is pick the font and pick the style that you appeals to you. I love the organization that I did for my spice drawer and I love the fonts that I chose. So maybe I'll pick that kind of fonts, but let's see. I can't wait to show you guys a fully organized kitchen tour. And yeah, this was such an exciting video to make and I really hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you're able to tackle your kitchen. I also want you to give yourself some grace. Not everybody has a perfectly organized kitchen, especially when you have a big family, you have kids, you have your life going on, you have your career. So give yourself some grace, tackle it in stages, and remember that even after you tackle your kitchen and you organize, the maintenance is a big part of it. So I really wish you the best and happy organizing. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye.